Chad Brown has 3 horses in this race, and I like one of the 3. Once again, to me, when I'm handicapping races, it's not always about the best horse. It's about the best horse on that particular day, the now horse, as we used to say. So, like I said, sometimes the horses that I pick or that I handicap and will give to you, you may look on there and say, now why is he doing that? Because this obviously horse he did not say is a better horse. But like I said, I'm looking for horses in the moment. I'm trying to identify horses who may have bigger fish to fry later, and trainers have other aspirations down the line. So therefore, I'm looking for horses who are ready to roll on this particular day. Let's start off with the number 4 horse who I like. The number 4 horse is Therapist. Christophe Clement employs Eric Cancel for this particular mount. Now, Therapist is 5 for 10 at Belmont on the turf with 1 second and 1/3. Now, some of those can be on the widener, some of those can be on the inner. They intertwine the whole turf stats in one. But 5 for 10, nevertheless, runs good off a layoff, has not been seen since late November of 2020 in the Turf Sprint Championship at Aqueduct. Eric Cancel rode this gelding that day, closed really, really well. So now I'm looking at coming back at 7 furlongs, which is a little somewhere in between what he's used to running. I think that Christophe Clement, who's decent off the, layoff, 17%, but in turf sprints, Christophe is at 22%. So that's really, really good. This New York bred, I think, is going to get a good pace to run at because the 2-horse proven strategies is very, very good, very, very quick out the gate. I think him and the 8-horse on the outside, Till Your Daddy, coming out of 5 furlong sprints at Fairgrounds, I think those 2 will provide a nice pace and a nice target for the 4-horse Therapist to run at. So Therapist will be one of my choices in this particular race. Use him in the Grand Slam and as well as the pick 5. As I said, Chad Brown has 3 horses in this race. I like the 7-horse Seismic Wave. I like Seismic Wave here. This gelding does have 1 win on Belmont's turf course. He had a prep race, hadn't been seen before the last race until since October 20th at Belmont in the Knickerbocker as a grade 2. Came back at Gulfstream in the Appleton, the grade 3 Appleton, and was beaten favorite with Irad aboard. Now, Irad still riding for Chad Brown in this race, but Irad's on the 1-horse Value Proposition, who I do not like. But Jose Ortiz won on this horse in the English Channel in 2019 at Belmont, going a flat mile. Got a 93 buyer. So Jose gets back on this horse. He knows Seismic Wave pretty well, and I think Seismic Wave will be the horse running home as well as my 4-horse Therapist. The 1-horse Value Proposition I don't like, has not been seen since September. I identified this Ridgeling as a horse that's coming back that has bigger fish to fry later. 7 furlongs. This is the shortest that he's ever run. So like I said, it hasn't been seen since September. What is that, like 8 months? So like I said, there's bigger races in the Belmont meet later. Saratoga's coming up. So I think Chad Brown is looking to just get a race into this horse. He has the rail. So there's a lot of things against this particular horse in this particular race. I don't think he's the now horse, but he could run on in the trifecta. The number 6 horse, Front Run the Fed, is 2 for 3 at Belmont. This is another Chad Brown horse. Hasn't been seen since the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint last November. Once again, you have to determine, is this the now horse for today? Has some kind of like maintenance work at Payson Park a couple on the turf, which was very, very good. You know, it's hard to say. Chad Brown is good. You know, all of his stats are good. You know, his layoff stats are good. His turf sprint stats are decent. Turf period, you know, that's his game. And even in sprints, he's better than most people think. So, you know, if you plan trifectas, something like that, I think front run the Fed will be somewhere there. Like I said, I think there's, just like the one horse value proposition, I think there's bigger fish for this horse by Fed, this 5-year-old by Fed Biz to fry later on in this particular meet or in Saratoga, at Saratoga coming up this summer. So in closing, in recap actually for this particular race, it's the 4-horse Therapist and the 7-horse Seismic Wave. In the 9th and final, we're going 6 furlongs on the inner. State bred, $40,000, purse $45,000. It's for 3-year-olds and up. New York bred, 12 are going to run. We do have a scratch or a couple of scratches. Also, we have the 3-horse Hoping and Praying is scratched, as well as two of the also eligibles, or I should say one of the also eligibles, the number 14 Unlikely, and then the number 15 Mr. Buckley was entered for main track only. So that's going to allow the number 13 Me and Sap. The number 13 Me and Sap will run. The gelding draws in. The number 4-horse Strong Desire will be ridden by Manny Franco. So Jose Ortiz, scheduled on this horse, or this gelding, will not ride. It will be Manuel Franco. And I'll start with the number 4-horse Strong Desire. This horse is 4-1 on the morning line, but I think this horse will end up going off favored. And I do think that, you know, coming out of these straight maidens at Saratoga last July, this is the first time gelding, continuing to get Lasix. There's a horse, I can't identify that horse's name. I'm sorry. It's something about something drink or something, who came back to win twice coming out of those 2 sprint races that Strong Desire was in at Saratoga. So it's productive races. This gelding is going to be favorite. And just coming out of those Saratoga races and dropping into a $40,000 claiming race is going to make this horse favored when it's all said and done. I like her. I like the gelding. You know, this is, like I say, it's a $40,000 New York bred. You're not going to find a whole lot of, you know, spice in this particular race. When I first looked at it, I was like, boy, this is like long shot written all over it. But once I saw the 13 draw in, a scratch of the 3-horse Hoping and Praying, who I liked a little bit, I looked at it and thought, the rest of the horses are seem very, very below average. And now it's starting to look kind of chalky. So I'm going to include the 4-horse Strong Desire. I'm also going to include the 5-horse Drink a Toast. Linda Rice and Trevor McCarthy will ride. Now, I don't know if you all remember, maybe 5 or 6, maybe 7 seasons ago at Saratoga, Linda Rice was just on fire. I think, it was actually the meet that she won. And everything that she put on the turf, first-time starters, they were firing. And now the stats are showing that she's only 8% and 0 for 17 first time on turf. I think that's kind of an anomaly. I think Linda Rice has not forgot how to train turf sprinters. That is still part of her game. And so I'm going to include the 5-horse Drink a Toast just for that very reason. This first-time starter will hopefully get a good trip. Just has some mediocre works on Belmont's training track. Nothing on turf. Does have a Tomlinson rating of 400 on turf at this distance. So if you're Tomlinson fans, and you look at the distance and the turf numbers, you ought to like this horse, Drink a Toast. I'm gonna include that horse, as well as the horse that drew in the gelding Me and Sap for David Donk. beaten favorite at Aqueduct at 6 furlongs for the same price. Jose Ortiz will ride, sticks around, so that's a good sign. So it's very kind of simple. I'm the covered here in my pick 5 closing leg with the 4-horse Strong Desire, the 5-horse Drink a Toast, and the 13 Me and Sap, who drew in from the also eligibles. So let's recap. The pick 5 that I gave to you will be $36 for 50 cents. So I want to go over that just to make sure. Again, the 2-horse in race 5, the 2-horse Kumar, the 3-horse Hammering Amir, and the 10-horse I Love Jackson. Race 6, the 6-horse Newsworthy, the 7-horse Caviar Imthor, and the 11-horse Camby Lion. Race 7, the 2-horse American Power, and the 4-horse Super Stonage. And in race 8, it would be the number 4-horse Therapist and the 7 Seismic Wave. And in the finale, I have 3, the 4-horse Strong Desire, the 5-horse Drink a Toast, and the 13 Me and Sap, all for $36. That's doable. Hopefully, it looks like to me, if the right combinations win, who I hope for, looks like it's going to pay somewhere around $400 to $600, and that is okay. As far as the Grand Slam is $24 for $1. I usually like to double it and play $48. I like the bet. It's not as easy as you think, but like I said, the $24 ticket I gave out to you includes the 2, 3, 10, so Kumar, Hammer and Amir, and then I Love Jackson, and the 6-horse Newsworthy and Caviar Imthor. Race 7, the 2-horse American Power and the 4-horse Super Stonage. And in the closing leg, the race you have to win. And let me I don't want to do a disservice to listeners who just tuned in for the first time. The Grand Slam is a 4-race sequence, and it's only held on the NYRA circuit. And the 4-race sequence, it's $1 minimum. The first, you can use multiple horses in any leg. The first 3 legs, all your horse has to do is finish first, second, or third. But the final closing leg, your horse has to win. So, like I said, $24 ticket, 4-7 Therapist and Seismic Wave in the closing leg of the Grand Slam. So good luck, folks. Welcome to Belmont Park. Hopefully, I give out some good winners. I'll recap on the next show that I produce. Thank you for listening to Thoroughbred Ticket, and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day at the races. Take care.
This has been the exotic wager portion of Thoroughbred Ticket with your host, Kenneth Moultrie. Please tune in again next time, and especially share if this show gave you a pick 4, 5, or 6 that catapulted you to having a great day at the track.